if you get a quick look at an article from Benziga on why AMC stock is up big today, or I mean, they call it big, but for us holding for the last 1 2 years, this is not really this is a regular day for somebody who've been here for the last 2 years. So getting a close look at what Benziga is calling onto the reason why AMC stock is up today. They're talking about, well, shares are trading higher Monday amid mentions of the stock on social media, as if there was never any day where the stock was mentioned on social media, and as a potential short squeeze candidate, as well as recent box office strength. So really nothing new, if you pause here, nothing really new that we already didn't know and what have not happened for the last couple of days, because AMC stock is always mentioned on social media. AMC stock has been AMC as a company have been showing very strong, recovery and getting closer to profitability again for a specific quarter, maybe this quarter, maybe next quarter, but things are looking like it's going to be this quarter, especially if you look at the numbers coming from the latest box office that we have for the last month or two. Top Gun, the Minions, Thor, etc., etc. So this was nothing new, because when these news came around Top Gun specifically, the stock didn't budge as much. So there was kind of a catch-up due for the stock based just on the news around the movies doing pretty good for this summer. Now, what is really interesting is they mentioned that traders continue to assess the possibility of a short squeeze. 20% of AMC stock, of AMC float, is currently sold short, according to data from Benziga Pro. And I mentioned also AMC setting to report its second quarter financial results after the market closes on August 4th. Right. The main thing here that I want you to pick up on is the 20% of AMC's float being sold short, and traders kind of, being on the lookout and monitoring this closely. I don't know if you remember, but back in January, there was a kind of a survey, conducted by Benziga, and they were kind of surveying traders around where they see AMC stock price levels around this summer or before the end of this year. And there was a high likelihood among those traders, professional and retail, to see AMC stock above or around the $50 share at least one time this year. So what is really interesting here is, with earnings coming up, there is a lot of build-up, there is a lot of expectations from people sitting on the sidelines with big money, with big pockets. It may be smart money, it may be retail money, but the bottom line is people are waiting for something to get the trigger on pouncing the shorts. It may be earnings, it may be something else, but the bottom line is, I wouldn't be surprised if one day, in the next 3 months, we wake up and we see these up 50% or maybe 20%, because a short or somebody with a mid-sized position or a bunch of shorts with mid-sized positions will ultimately start covering because of one of these guys deciding to pull the trigger and pouncing the shorts, So it may be what will drive us ultimately to maybe, the 40s, the 50s, and then maybe there's going to be some profit taking there. I don't know. But the bottom line is, people are waiting to see where this is going in the very, very, very short term, because there is a short squeeze possibility building up with people sitting on the sidelines. For us holding, and who have been holding here for the last 24 months almost, it doesn't change much, because we're holding and we're buying when we can. But my point is, we are not the only people or the only investors kind of getting a close look at what is happening here with AMC stock, because as I mentioned, it may be coming up with earnings, it may be something else, but when you look at what is happening in crypto, it seems to me as if the money is flowing slowly back into, risk on, meaning people are willing to put money to work, and people that were shorting lately may be caught up in this whole mix if they don't get out now. So definitely another bullish sign to see on what may happen in the very short term with AMC.